Hello and welcome back to Brains Unpicked. I'm Rose,
I'm Zoe.
and this is your podcast with two 20-something-year-olds chronically overthinking about life and unpacking it all here. So let's get down to business. Today you might hear some wind. We're currently in a weather warning.
Yeah, we're in an amber warning, aren't
Yeah,
we? What's it called? Storm Ewan?
Ewan,
Ewan?
Ewan, Welsh.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Welsh.
and
How's it a Welsh storm when he's not Welsh? Like the storm himself?
I don't know.
Because like the storm will be the tail end of a hurricane from somewhere. So
Don't know. I think they just make names up as
Do you
they,
think
as
that-
they so please.
do you think Americans think our like hurricanes, because we don't call them hurricanes, we just call them a windy day. Do you think that they think they're pure pathetic because
Probably.
like
Oh, definitely, because we've not got the likes of like twisters and people
Yeah,
riding out into
it's-
storms.
it is pretty pathetic
Yeah.
when I think about
Yeah,
it.
consider it like people in Glasgow yesterday who got that
Siren
or-
notification
for
Right.
a wee bit of wind.
And I know it's bad. Like I know 80,
Yeah.
like 90 mph winds is bad, but like
Come on, like I would have thought, oh my god, nuclear war.
yeah,
Yeah,
about to be bombed. It's
Yeah.
all a bit much.
just a tad. We're getting a bit dramatic.
Yeah.
guys. Like what are we? What's I dread to think what the siren or the noise would be like if there is like a nuclear war threat, because or like some sort of bombing happening, because the next time people hear that, they're just gonna think, oh, it's just the wind again.
But there's been quite a few changes. Let's give you a little update. So this is our first recording of 2025,
Yes, not the
So-
first episode,
but the first recording. We have new microphones.
Look at that, they're pink.
Yeah, if you can't see them, they've got a little light up pink bit on them. We do have arms for them, but I'll be honest with these guys, I've had a mare. So I've been doing set up all morning. So I've been tidying up, trying to get things set up, trying to get it all ready for the new year. And I've had disaster after disaster. And we need a new table to fit the mics on. So we're going to hold them this week. So if there's a lot of
Because the little delicate flower is just not strong enough.
yeah, so if you're hearing a lot of movement and funny bits, it is purely down to the fact that we're holding it this week. Mm-hmm. And if it's mostly from Rose's side, it's just because she's expressive.
Get lost. I'll express what I want.
So that's a kind of roundup. So hopefully sounds better. Well, hopefully by next episode we'll have a table that it's like concrete onto. But yeah, Rose did come down the stairs while I was like potential meltdown, and I don't even think I said hi. I don't even think I spoke to you. I don't even think I
There
looked
was
at
dead silence. I was like, oh no, this is not going well.
you. And at one point, Rose just went, "I'm so sorry, I cannot be more help." And I was like, "I'm gonna scream."
It was one of those things that I knew there would be too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah,
I was just gonna
like,
leave you
I
to do
prefer
it.
that. I did respect the fact you come down and you just didn't say anything and you just
Yeah.
left me to just speak to the
Yeah.
air because I needed that. But I did see when you said, "I wish I could be more help." I was like, "I wish you could be more help too."
I would just like to
It's
say
not
the
your
reason
fault.
I wasn't helped was because I was working this
Yeah, no,
morning.
you're working, and
Yeah.
also like I wouldn't have wanted you to help anyway because it
Yeah.
annoyed me, and I know
I knew that. That's why I didn't help.
You have seen me in some states this month. January's been a tough month, and poor
It has.
Rose has actually had to see me in more states than I think more people have probably seen me in.
It's okay, guys. I'm gonna make her a sign that so that I know when. I feel like I read the room today. I
did.
came in
I'm
and I
proud
was
of
like,
you.
it's fine. It's not that she hates me, because in my head, the
Yeah.
irrational part of my brain normally goes, "Oh my god, people hate me because they're being quiet," even though I know that they probably just have something
Yeah.
going on themselves that's nothing to do with me. But yeah, I am gonna make a sign that just says Zoe's quiet time, so that Zoe doesn't have to waste time and energy explaining
Yeah,
to me what's going
Because
on.
my issue is when I get upset or when I'm having too many emotions, I go completely inward. So I more or less just go mute. I'm like, I don't want anyone to look at me, speak at me,
Yeah.
perceive me, ask me if I'm okay. I just go completely like, I just shut down, and it's all in my head, and anything that I put out to the world, I don't even want anyone to respond to. I just need it out of my head so that I can move on to the next step. And So when I'm feeling like that, I'm not good at articulating it because I'm like, if I have to speak, I'm going to be a horrible human being, and I get stuck in that cycle. So I find it really hard to then tell people, leave me the fuck alone, without sounding like a dick. And yeah, so it's been an interesting month.
Yeah, it's all good. Like, you're allowed to feel those feelings, and yeah,
It's been an interesting month,
It
to say
has.
the least. For
but you know
both
what?
of
We're
us.
weathering the storm.
Hey.
You're almost at the end of January. Not that the calendar month helps, but
Yeah.
you've almost survived.
That's it. One
Yeah.
month's nearly done.
Yeah.
My new year starts in March.
Yeah.
That's maybe
This
something
is-
for
yeah.
later on in the episode, but yeah, my year doesn't start in January, it starts in March.
Quite right, as it so should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a longer intro than usual.
Yeah.
But we'll
But
just
yeah, we'll just get it out in the open.
yeah, let's just
But
jump
yeah,
straight in.
Let's just take a moment to, like, you got the microphones working. So
Hopefully.
well done.
Well, we don't know until I edit it.
Yeah.
But if it cuts now to a random video of me crying whilst editing, you'll know why.
Yeah.
If it sounds really shit, it's because I've took the onboard camera mics.
It'll be fine. Yeah, so minor inconveniences.
Yeah,
What you thinking?
I got a
What's
stack of them.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
obviously I said January's been a bit rough. Every encounter is a minor inconvenience, and they're all just stacking up to major. And I don't really know how many I should go for today. Do you want me to just...
Unleash it. Just
'Cause I got
get it off your
lots to
chest.
say.
Get it off your
So
chest.
much.
I'm here to listen.
It took me 20 minutes to make a hot chocolate the other day, and I'm still not over it.
This is also one of the states I witnessed. It was-
Do you know what? It was so I was in work. I was
Yeah.
making a hot chocolate. It was so busy. People were like having meetings and like chatting to
Yeah.
each other downstairs in the main area, which doesn't normally happen. And I am having an absolute catastrophe, and no one is even looking at it. No one's acknowledging it.
Yeah.
And you just happen to walk in like midway through it,
Yeah.
and ask me a question and go, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Don't even talk to me." So
No, all I saw, there was a cup with hot chocolate powder in it, and I went, "Oh, you're having a hot chocolate," and she went, "Don't even." I don't even start.
I've been a bit of a nippy sweetie. So I was really excited to go make myself a hot chocolate. So I started making the hot chocolate. I realised I accidentally used a staff member's hot chocolate rather than the communal hot chocolate, and I finished it. And I felt really guilty. So I went running up to them. This adds into another minor convenience. Went to the gym this week, done a lot on legs. Legs are sore. So I'm up and downstairs. Not a good, you know that way when like you go to the gym and your thighs are so sore that sitting down to the toilet is a task.
Yes.
That kind of level,
Like,
right?
the going up, not so bad. The coming down the stairs,
So
not good.
Managed to get up the stairs, and then I was like, I'm gonna have to come back down. Turned around, went, I've used your hot chocolate. She's like, couldn't care less. Like, it's fine. I've had it here for ages.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. And I was like, brilliant. I was eating myself up with guilt for no reason. Crawled myself down the stairs crying. Made the hot chocolate. Went to the microwave. And it's going, and I'm taking it out periodically, doing all the steps. So I have a milky hot chocolate because I'm a child. Anyway.
It's the only way to do it. I'm
so-
sorry.
Took it out and went, that's not quite hot enough. Just a little. I like my hot chocolate to burn me, right?
We've all made this mistake.
So, put it back in, opened the door, it had literally boiled over and covered the whole fucking microwave, and I went, nice one. So started to clean all the microwave, and then I went, I can't now use that milk, it's overboiled milk, and I took a whiff of it and went, that stinks, so I poured it down the sink, tried to clean the mug, and I was like, this isn't happening very well either. So then I tried to leave to go and make a new hot chocolate, started that process, tipped powder all over the worktop in the main area, so there was just hot chocolate everywhere, just powder everywhere. You walked up in the second part of me cleaning that, so I'd already tried to clean it once, and I was on the second part of cleaning it because I poured so much everywhere. So I was like scooping it up, sorting it out. You then spoke to me, and I was like, oh. Then I tried to go back into the kitchen to put it back in the microwave. I couldn't open the door, and no one was helping me. And then I heard some members of staff just laughing at me as I was trying to open the door, and I was like,
In our place of work, that's so standard.
yeah, no, that's like, it's affectionate.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna have a meltdown. And went into the kitchen, made my hot chocolate, and see, if I'm being so honest and sorry, it was not worth it. It was not a good hot chocolate. And I was devastated. But then, as I come back out, put my hot chocolate down, another member of staff turned around to me and went, struggling with the door? And I went, do not start me. Looked down at myself, my white t-shirt covered in hot chocolate. And I was like,
Oh no.
right?
Like, as in liquid form or powder form?
Powder form.
Did it brush off or
No, I then spilled
Oh.
stew all over it later.
Sorry. I literally never noticed any of this. I witnessed part of the chocolate meltdown, but after I don't know when I was after this, I never saw any of this.
And do you know the worst thing is? I don't think I even told anyone. It was one of those minor inconveniences that became so massive that I was like, I actually can't tell anyone about this.
I'm so sorry.
That's just one of like the 7 minor inconveniences I've wrote down recently. My car battery keeps dying. So I keep randomly being like, oh yeah, I'll take you home. And they're like, oh, can I jump in a shop? And I'm like, yeah. And then they get back into the car. Car's dead. Need to phone someone to come and jumpstart it. So my car's died twice this month. It's been in the garage for 10 days over a separate issue. So I've been walking to work because I don't want to get the bus because the bus gives me too much anxiety. I made a dinner the other night and it was inedible and I had to bin it and make a new dinner.
You have
Every time I open a tinfoil, I've got so much beef with tinfoil. Every time I open a goddamn tinfoil, it just rips apart or it sticks to the tray or everything sticks onto the tinfoil on the tray. I've consumed so much tinfoil in the last year, and I'm convinced that in the last year alone they've changed the tinfoil recipe.
How the tin is being foiled is different.
Anyway, so I'm doing really well.
You are doing
I'm
really
really
well.
rational, and the minor inconveniences are definitely not becoming major inconveniences.
I'm not being like some of the stuff I have witnessed you go through over this last month that would have broken me. I've been a broken woman.
There was also, we decided to make a vision board. We forgot to bring it down to put it up on the wall. We made a vision board for the podcast. Guess who printed it double-sided? Dum over here. Like, I'm actually not functioning at all.
Oh my god, I feel like we're witnessing your spiral into madness.
And the thing is, I just keep jokingly telling people, oh yeah, I'm having the January blues, I'm quite... See, when I'm actually speaking out, I'm like, that's just the wee things. That's just the wee things.
Yeah.
Anyway, not to make it all about me, so let's just...
Well, my minor inconvenience really is a minor inconvenience. Yeah. So... I don't know if this has been like a New Year's thing for some people, that like everyone in the world has just decided to start making sourdough.
Oh, I thought you were going to say start running.
No.
I've not seen sourdough. Everyone I know, everyone and their granny is running.
Yeah, I feel like that happens like every year, but like all of my social media feeds are just consumed by people making sourdough and all their sourdough starters.
Got the
Eloise. Fucking
Eloise!
Yeah.
Did you see her try to make marshmallows?
Yes. Yeah.
What is marshmallow root and why is everyone trying to reuse it? Because they're doing it wrong.
I don't know.
They need to get onto
Island Larder. Yeah. But anyway, so the sourdough thing I've discovered through the fact that every one of my social media pages is just full of people making sourdough is that I think I'm terrified of the concept of sourdough starter. Like, why is that alive? Why is it alive? And why are we feeding it? And why are we personifying them and giving them human names?
And then eating them.
Yeah. Cooking their babies and eating them.
Fair.
Like, I remember seeing one, and I don't have that. What's that phobia where people have got like the fear of holes?
Trypophobia?
Yeah. I don't have that. But I was scrolling through TikTok, and the video that came up was like someone that moved their like sourdough starter and it all bubbled and like came up like lava. And if I'm being honest, it freaks me out that you would eat something that's considered...
Yeah, but sourdough's good.
I like the bread.
I just don't want to think about the concept of making it.
It's the same, I can't think about yogurt too much. Like cultures and bacteria.
I don't think that I've ever thought about yogurt enough.
Yeah, well...
I don't want to. Let's not get into
Yeah,
that.
but I can't escape the sourdoughs. And you know what it is? It's
Oh
one
my
of-
god, do you know another thing
What?
that happened to me? I burnt my tongue so badly it blistered recently. Like, I had blisters on my tongue
Yeah.
because I burnt it. Can't remember what I burnt it on. Anyway, sorry, back to you. That was just...
I hate when you get a blister on your tongue because you can't, or like anywhere in your mouth because you can't not like.
Yeah, right, like,
Yeah.
along there.
Oh, I hate ones like. Have you ever had one on the roof of your mouth?
No, that sounds painful.
It was horrible. Do you know getting something really hot on the roof of your mouth can kill you?
Huh?
Yeah, because it just like immediately sends a shock right up into your brain.
Sounds like false information.
Apparently so.
Who's died?
I don't know, people.
R.I.P.
Listen, I'm allowed to believe everything I see on the internet.
Fair.
But yeah, like, and I can't escape the sourdoughs. Like, and it's one of those things. It's one of those things that I know it freaks me out, but I can't look away. Like, I watch the whole thing right to the end every time.
I think I'd really like to make bread.
Can you do something other than sourdough?
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to make a sourdough.
Yeah, I don't like the thought of having to keep it alive.
Like, you just
have this
like a big
living being.
responsibility.
Yeah. But yeah, so shall we say that's the roundup of minor inconveniences? Minor transforming into a major month of inconveniences for one.
Yeah, we might call this
yeah.
a major inconvenience section
Yeah.
today.
It has been a really hard month to deal with. Like, I
Yeah.
have, like, there's not been that much, but at the same time, I've just been like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't be arsed, so I don't know how you're surviving.
Thanks.
But well done.
We're all in this together.
We're all in this together.
So we'll move on to Brains Unpicked.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were thinking about, so as Zoe said, we did a vision board, right?
Yeah.
And we were manifesting all these things. Some of them were silly, some of them were not. And then I was thinking, if we do become like a really successful, when we do become a really successful podcast, what do you think we will inevitably be cancelled for?
Oh.
And if it was just me that was cancelled, would you continue the podcast and find another host to replace me?
Yeah. Are you is this a situation where I can live off of the money made from a podcast and you get cancelled? Like, this is my livelihood. Yeah, you're getting replaced. I know lots of funny people, Rose.
Well, you
Your
can't
replacement-
film in here anymore.
That's fine. I'll make it work.
Okay, but what do you think?
I feel like you should also replace me. Like,
Okay.
that would only make sense that if one of us get unbelievably cancelled, we replace one another.
Do you? Okay, but what in general do you think we would get cancelled for?
I don't actually know. I don't think my opinions are that offensive.
No.
But I feel like if anything, I would just get cancelled from right-wing politics.
Yeah, and do you know what? That's the best
And we've
type
not
of
touched
cancelled.
on that. To be fair, we've not touched on politics too much. No. But I imagine that I could annoy like a particular group of people enough that I would get cancelled.
And I would wholeheartedly enjoy annoying that particular group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know if I would do anything particularly
No.
cancelable.
The only thing I can think of,
Cancelable.
and I don't think this would happen, because I feel like we would be good on our research, but if we were to be offered like a brand deal or something, then people are like, oh my god, they support this brand and blah blah blah, and they've done this and that.
Blah,
and
blah, blah.
Yeah, blah blah blah. This, and they had like secret ties to something that we hadn't sourced in our research.
Yeah, I think if anything, it is like something along
Yeah.
the lines of something's went
Yeah.
wrong. But I feel like I'm the kind of person that is very upfront and honest about things. So I think that if I was cancelled, I'd be like, yeah, I've been cancelled.
Yeah.
And da.
But
Like, I don't think I'd be like pussyfooting about with all these like, oh, I'm so sorry and crying. I would be like, yeah,
No.
like I fucked up.
It wouldn't be like a
If I managed to get cancelled for something absolutely ludicrous and like really, really bad, I would be shocked.
yeah.
I'm a pretty boring human being, and like, to be honest.
Imagine we like get really successful,
Or
and
we
then
get a guest. I think that the likelihood was a guest
yeah,
that gets us cancelled.
could be, yeah. We could end up like really famous and then fall out like Ethan and Trisha Paytas.
Oh, but that would be iconic.
It would, because then we could start our own podcast and like.
In the scenario, who's Ethan and who's Trisha?
You're gonna say I'm Ethan, and fuck you. I can't be done with Ethan.
Why did you think I was going to say that?
I can see it on your face. You're like, I want to be Trisha.
I just feel like I might be slightly more chaotic to be Trisha. I'm not on any level of Trisha, but you know how Trisha has just went to like done everything and
Yeah.
done lots of like. I could imagine that I would
Yeah.
be the more likely of the two of us to get money
Yes,
and then
okay.
jump into every career option. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I think that you would like stay in your lane.
Okay.
I don't think you'd be hateful and twisted the way that like you wouldn't be bitter the way that Ethan's
No,
bitter.
he
You wouldn't
is.
be on the
He's
internet
so
like
annoying. Yeah.
rewatching my podcast to be
Yeah.
like I hate her or
No.
I hope she's doing well, but I don't mean it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. See, on the topic of Trisha Paytas, the only thing I was
She's
sad...
she's a bad like I shouldn't love Trisha Paytas, and I know that I shouldn't love Trisha Paytas, but her and Tana Mojo, I know that they're probably horrible
Yeah.
people, but I'm
Yeah.
obsessed and
Yeah.
will always be obsessed.
Well, the only thing I was sad about the Americans getting, when we thought they were getting banned from TikTok, we knew they weren't really, but when they actually disappeared for a while, I was like, oh, there might not be more
Trisha
buried
Paytas was-
with a donkey.
But Trisha Paytas was in London at the time.
Was she?
Yeah, so we never like for that 12 hours we still had Trisha.
Oh,
'cause she
did
was
we?
in
I didn't
London.
realise that. But I thought, oh, maybe there will be no more buried with a donkey.
She's doing a Broadway show this year.
Is she?
Yeah.
I saw she was on SNL.
Yeah, she's going on
Yeah.
Broadway for her own show, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's very Chicago Tina from Victorious.
But yeah, maybe we should have a very high profile falling out. Go
think that
off,
we should do it
do
for
our
PR.
separate ways, right? Do our own podcasts, build even more audiences, and then one day do a really high profile making up and
Yeah.
this
This
rejoicing in
this
the
has
brains
already
unpicked.
happened in an alternate timeline
That's true. That is true.
because we blew up instantly in an alternate
Mm-hmm.
timeline.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you never know. Maybe episode 11 will be the one.
But
Or is this 10? No, this is.
Is this
This is 10.
This is 10.
This
Double
is double
figures, baby.
digits.
My big thing for this year is consistency over like results.
Mm-hmm.
So I get quite focused on I want the result and I want the result immediately, and I know that that's not how life works.
Yeah.
But I want it to, so annoyed about it. So I'm going down the route of consistency this year, consistently doing the things I want to achieve in the hopes that eventually it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep. Okay, so what's your brains unpicked?
oh my
today?
god, did we finish your brains unpicked?
I feel like we came to the conclusion
okay.
that you would immediately replace me
so-
and
One of my I've got a couple of things that I would talk about. I might talk about both, I'm unsure. But the main thing I had said earlier that I believe that the new year starts in March.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's absolutely ridiculous that we have 2 additional months in the calendar based on the fact that 2 Roman emperors wanted months. So August and
yeah.
July are named after
Augustus.
Augustus and Julius because they decided to rewrite the calendar because they wanted a month. And I think that that's aggravating because see if that was the case, right?
Yeah.
See if we didn't have, and I say this as a girl that's born in August. As a Leo, I'm like, get rid of this month. And not that I want to get rid of August, I think it's a beautiful month, but I just feel like the year would look very different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If we just got rid of those two months at those Romans, then when it came in, like March would be the new year.
Yeah.
We would have Christmas in a different month.
Yeah.
We would have it in like February or something when it's miserable. And then it like would come into March and we would all be like, the sun's out.
Yeah.
And we'd be happier.
And we're not supposed to, like, everyone, like, there's this big thing of, like, oh, you need to totally change your life in January. No, that's so unrealistic. Like, it's a time of year where we should be slowing down and taking better care of ourselves rather than being like, I'm going to do this, that, and the next thing and overwork ourselves.
Like actually, when
Yeah.
you think about the seasons, they don't they don't work.
No.
So winter is like what? December, January, February? But bang in the mid... but in the third of that season, it's like, oh, by the way, here's a brand new year. How does that make sense? Like, surely the new year should work that it goes into a new season as well.
Yeah.
Tax year starts in April. So it just starts in the middle, like the mid, do you know what I mean? It starts in April, which is like the spring, the bit into spring. It's not like start of spring. It's like into spring. We all get excited for the summer holidays, but the summer holidays happen the end of June, which is like the third point, and like everything happens in the opposite thirds to the seasons.
Yeah.
And I think the crux of it is Julius and Augustus just had a nerve.
Yeah. And also, I wholeheartedly believe that June is the best month of the summer, so why do we need July and August?
Yeah. I actually do think that August is a nice month.
It is a nice month, but anytime...
I think it would be still a nice month if it was a different, like, if it didn't exist. Like, that month would still remain the same.
Yeah. June would just be...
And all the and then the amount of days that would be in a month would be better.
Yeah.
And...
Like, we could have a normal February. Like, why is it 31 days has September, April, June, and November? All the rest have 30.
I have never learned that.
No, 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31, except for February, which has 28, except for on a leap year when it has 29. It ruins the whole fucking rhyme.
Everyone, the way that and I know that other people follow different calendars.
Yeah.
So obviously you've got like the Chinese New Year, which is at a different point, and like not everyone, and then you've got the Lunar New Year and things like that. Like you've the lunar calendar and like things like that. So people follow different types of calendars.
Yeah.
But in Western society, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Basically, nothing makes sense in Western society.
We're actual, and we think that we are like some sort of superpower.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that we're some sort of superpower, but like.
But we think that everyone should do it the way we do.
Should be westernized.
Yeah.
I think that's so flawed.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry. I'm clearly having a bit of an existential crisis at the moment.
We've been like, this is, again, we've spoken about this so many times, but just like the days before the calendars and you just followed the moon and the sun.
Yeah, well, this takes me back to cavemen, right? Which was another part of my brain's unpicked.
We do love talking about cavemen.
I love talking about cavemen. So, see people that snack at night. Do you think that they were the night shift workers as cavemen?
Maybe.
Like, do you know,
would you mean like how late at night? What do you mean?
My family, like my mum and dad, will get up at like 2, 3 in the morning. So like have went to sleep, will have gotten up and will go and eat. So they'll go have like chocolate, or they'll snack on like some leftover food that's there, or like, and to me that's ludicrous because never would I wake up, get out of my bed to do anything other than pee or get a glass of water and then jump immediately back into bed and be like, please sleep, please sleep, please sleep, please sleep. I couldn't think of going and eating and then going back to bed, but people do, and I've grown up with 2 people that do.
This is wild.
I'm convinced. So me and my dad were talking about cavemen as well the other day. Because I was like, oh, what do you think you would be? And he was like, I think I'd be a hunter. And I'm like, that makes sense for you. You're a massive guy. You could do damage to animals. Do you know what I mean? He wouldn't, but he could. And then I was like, oh, my sister would be a hunter because she is fit. Like she is, and she's ready to go. And like, I think she'd be really good at it. I'd be a gatherer because I'd just be wandering about, gatherer and adventurer. I'd be like learning new stories and new things. Like I would be the almost the storyteller gatherer type person. I think that would just be like telling stories all the time. And I was like, oh, what would my mum be? And I was like, my mum is on the night shift looking after the fire. Like she is built to just be up all night and eating at night rather than eating when everyone else is eating, not having to leave the fast.
Is the fire on during the night?
Well, people are on night shift, so surely. And you've got to keep away animals and stuff. So you've got to keep the fire going.
I feel like the fire at night would be a waste of firewood.
Do you think? I don't think it would be. I think that would be necessary. You would need people on the night shift to protect you because you'd not get cave doors. It's also cold.
This is true. Yeah.
So, I think, as my mum is a kind of midnight snacker eater, like I could fully imagine walking down the stairs in the middle of the night and my mum's eating a toasty or something, like full on eating.
This is fucking insanity to me. What do you mean you're getting out of your bed
She'll
and
like
making a
eat
toast?
chocolate and all that. Like, I'll come down the stairs and she'll just be eating chocolate. And I'm like, what? Why are you in the fridge? It's 2 a.m. and she's been sleeping. Anyway, so I think the people that snack in the middle of the night, that get up and eat in the middle of the night, must have been night shift cavemen. Because I'm like, they were functioning at that time.
Probably. Yeah, that's the only explanation
And
I
I
could
think
imagine.
that really, what the crux of all of this brain's unpicked
How early
scenario
did she go to her bed?
Not that early. She's like a little mouse. Like, you would come down the stairs in the morning. So like, say we got a Chinese and you were like really excited for the leftover Chinese in the morning, and like to have your like hungover breakfast or whatever, and you have that leftover Chinese and you come down and it's gone.
No.
And you're like, why is it gone? Lorraine's ate it. Nothing sacred. And she knows this.
Yeah.
If my mum still listens to the podcast,
Yeah.
I doubt that she does, but if she does
Yeah.
still listen to the podcast, she is more than aware that she just takes it. You're like, oh, where's
Yeah.
that gone? I ate it. All the time. She is so funny. She's such a funny woman.
That is quite funny.
She's crazy. She
Yeah.
makes me laugh so much.
I'm telling you, let's go back to trading goods and services. I can't be doing this anymore.
And I know that
Do you
like
know what I was thinking about the other day? And this is a spiral. I had a thought spiral. I was thinking like about get payday this month, right? And I was like,
I didn't realise we got paid early this month, and I went into my bank account last night and I was like, what's going on? I got
"Did you
paid
get paid
yesterday.
Did you?
I got paid
Oh.
yesterday, and I was like, why is there so much money in my account?
Yeah.
I was ready to be in my overdraft. I was like, I'm rich. I'm going to Tim Hortons. I'm getting myself a medium hot chocolate.
Well, I was thinking about like how every month money comes out of my wages like automatically to go into a pension. And I was like, why the fuck am I paying a pension? I'm never gonna retire. I'm gonna drop dead on shift somewhere.
Yeah.
I will never see that money. Give me it now.
Exactly.
I want it
Never.
now. I want to spend it now.
Like, honestly, retirement is for the affluent
Yeah.
at this point.
Like, I'll clock in somewhere, I'll be fucking... and everyone will be like... And do you know what will be my fucking luck? This is... I won't come into work and immediately die. This is what will happen. I will get to 5 o'clock on a Friday and I'll drop dead. I'll kick the bucket.
Fair.
And people will be going, oh, where's Rose? Little old decrepit woman lying dead somewhere.
Like that woman that was left in the office for 3 days. And
Yeah.
found dead.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be that. I think people would miss you.
No, but I feel like it would be my... Oh, thank you. It would be my luck that I would work a full week and then die. And all that money in my pension would just go somewhere fucking else.
Oh, yeah, it would just pay for your funeral
Yeah.
or something. But that's the thing, like, because obviously I think that generationally we're all a bit tired of working and like, and I think that
Yeah.
like, I would have absolutely no issue working, like, it's, and everyone's like, oh, go pursue your passion, go do this, if working a job should never feel like working a day in your life. I'm like, it should, like, work should feel like work.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day,
And also...
people that get to work a job where they feel nothing but joy working that job are likely people who have the money to do that, and
Yeah.
they've just got a hobby. They've got a
Yeah.
hobby that makes them money.
Yeah.
And realistically, that's not actually an opportunity that everyone can have. So
Some people don't even know what their passion is.
yeah.
So
who cares? Like, as long as you can get through the job.
yeah.
I think that what would actually be an ideal situation for the majority is that you could have, like, the working day was shorter, so you had less time.
Yeah.
You worked for more for less time,
Yeah.
and then you could pursue hobbies and passions, and then, like, and that would make people a lot more well-rounded. But the
Yeah.
issue is that work is over-consuming because we can't afford
Yeah.
it and we can't afford to live.
Yes.
And that
And
kind
I-
of over-consuming doom of trying to keep yourself alive is actually the crux of it.
Literally.
And that's why people don't have hobbies or passions, and people that get that land on their feet, that are really lucky, that do get to do that, are very much like, oh, well, it's easy. And I'm like, it's not easy. Like,
No. I don't think I can... it's just the concept of work in general. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
think I can do this for another 50 years.
like
I've not got it in
see,
me.
I could sit and do this forever.
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
sit and just chat and do this forever.
Yeah.
But that would be an absolute luxury.
Yeah.
And I think that people because the internet is the way it is, and people are like, oh, it's really easy, but I'm like, actually it's not, and it's not realistic. Some people
Yeah.
aren't in the position
No.
that they could do
Yeah.
they could even have the concept of a passion or a hobby because they're just trying to stay.
Survive.
They're just trying to stay afloat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's so sad that we just push this narrative all the time, because I'm a big thing of I hate 9 to 5 working.
Yeah.
But I hate 9 to 5 working because I'm like, I could do my hours in a different time and then pursue all the things I want to do.
Yeah. But no, we continue to peddle this narrative that we all have the same 24 hours in a day and blah, blah, blah.
Do you have a would you rather?
Yes.
I don't have a would you rather, but I can do your one.
Okay. Would you rather your dreams occasionally manifested into reality, or never dream again, but you won't get a decent sleep again despite this?
Right. Well, I'm a frequent dreamer. I am, it's like, you know how there's people that are like, I don't want to hear anyone else's dreams. It's just a load of cack. Don't like it, hear it. I am not that person. I love hearing about people's dreams. I want to hear all about your dreams. I had a dream the other day that I worked at like a caravan park or like a cabin or like whatever, and I must have thrown like a party or something, and everyone left, and then the next morning I was hungover and I went to this other cabin for a PT session.
Yeah.
And I left that cabin and I went back home and I couldn't find the cat, but for some reason I had 2 cats instead of 1 cat, and I only couldn't find 1 cat. Like one cat was there, couldn't find the other. Then there was people in the cabin for some reason, and we opened the freezer and there was a cat dead in the freezer, but it wasn't any of my cats. And then I went back into my bedroom, and and then I found like 1 cat was like trying to paw under the bed, and the other cat's paw was coming from under the bed, and I was like, oh, they're fighting each other. And then this massive guinea pig came running out and ran up the cabin. Why would that manifest into real life?
But it's gonna, like, you're not gonna get to there. You could have, it could be any dream, but
choose what dream gets
you don't
to
get to
manifest.
choose. No.
Well, that also scares me, because I have quite weird reoccurring dreams that you know of, where there's just people standing next to my bed looking at me, or there's a woman that tries to like get all up in my face. She's terrifying. What if that manifests into real life? I'm already scared that might be real life, because she's been there since I was a kid.
Yeah. But if you're not dreaming, but you're still not gonna get a decent sleep.
But I don't get a decent sleep the other way. What would you
I think it would be boring to see.
I like dreaming. No, I don't. I don't think I do like dreaming.
I don't think I don't a lot of the time remember my dreams. I quite often wake up thinking I know I had a really weird dream, but I don't remember what it was.
My dreams are really vivid.
Yeah, I do on occasion have really vivid dreams, and they're always wild, but
like getting your head lobbed off.
Yeah. What was I said one recently, and I can't remember what it was now. But it involved a lot of people from work, and it was, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go. Yeah, actually, I forgot that I dream about getting my head lobbed off. Yeah, now actually, I
think I'm going to continue to dream, because I just think I would get really sad if everyone's talking about their dreams and I have nothing to contribute.
Like, most of my friends have really bizarre dreams, and I love nothing more to hear about them. And I feel like, see, if they were to manifest into reality, it would be like episode 1 of The Good Place, you know, when...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, Saskia's a bit of a witch. So
really? Yeah.
She has dreams and then they actually do happen. They don't always happen the way that she dreamt them, but she had a dream that someone that she knew crashed at a roundabout, and then the next day like someone else that she knew did crash, but it wasn't the same person in the dream, but someone had crashed or something like that. And she'll have like these weird wee dreams, and then like 2 days later something will happen that is like more or less, it's like one part of the story will be wrong but everything else will be correct. And I'm like, you're a witch.
Yeah.
You're
not
a good witch, though. It's always tends to be bad things as well.
My best friend thinks she is responsible for some people's, like, celebrities' deaths, because she frequently dreams about people, like, celebrities' deaths, and then they happen not that long later. Like,
we also have a friend that dreams that people are pregnant and gets it bang on.
But she dreamt that Kenny Rogers died, and she was like, oh, I dreamt that Kenny Rogers died, and literally the next day, gone.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a friend that dreams about people pregnant. Very specific details about their pregnancies as well.
Yeah, I think that dreams are important.
Yeah. I do feel like I often get deja vu. And it's like, deja Yeah.
deja vu.
And I'm like,
Love
but
you, Sleeping with
it's of
Sirens.
stuff that is not like out there. It's just of like mundane sort of things, but like niche things
There's
that haven't
timelines.
happened before, and I'm like,
Defo's
yeah,
timelines.
yeah. Where do you think false memories come from?
Well, I actually got taught this in psychology.
Okay.
I can't remember a lot of it, but I remember my lecturer saying that she was convinced as a kid that she broke her nose,
Right.
and like would tell this story like step by step of how she broke her nose, and then our mum and dad turned around and went, "That didn't happen to you. That happened to your sister." So it's like it's the way that our body processes intense emotions. So we've got this part of the body, the part of our brain called the amygdala.
Right.
This is going to get quite technical, sorry. And our amygdala is responsible. Our amygdala and part of our hippocampus, I think, are responsible for processing emotions.
Right.
And when we have heightened emotions, our amygdala is not capable of processing the emotions because it goes into fight, flight, or freeze.
Okay.
So it can generate false memories. So we used to talk about it flipping your lid. So when a baby's born, the only part of your brains that work is your amygdala and your kind of hippocampus. And it's that little bit where my thumb's at here. That's like your baby brain.
Right.
And as you start to get older, all the other parts of the brain and the frontal lobe develops.
Yeah.
And then this is a brain. And what happens is when we have emotions that are too big or have something that we can't comprehend, we kind of flip our lid. And all of that bit that we're used to having logic and this, that, and the next thing all goes out the window. We go into fight, flight, or freeze. And then the amygdala can't do the memory processing bit properly. It's why when
Right.
people burst into rage of anger and and we call it red mist, and then they come out of it and they're like,
Yeah.
I don't know anything that happened.
Yeah.
It's because that part of their brain is so busy fighting the survival mode aspect of
Yeah.
it that it's not able to process the emotion. So I think that false memories can come from a processing of
Right.
emotions type thing.
Because I have a very silly, goofy false memory. And so I don't know what emotion I experienced then, right? So when I was 2, and this is maybe just because I was young, but when I was 2, we went on a family holiday and with my dad's friend to uh so we had to go to Malta. We flew to Malta but we were staying in Gozo. And we had to get a helicopter from Gozo, from Malta to Gozo, right? And I vividly remember that this helicopter was like, in my mind, an army helicopter, and there was no, like, you know, when the doors are open, and I was sat out the door with my legs dangling as we were flying.
At 2 years old.
Yeah. And my entire family are like, no, that never happened, but I can remember that so vividly.
And I think it is, it's just your brain isn't able to process what happened properly.
Yeah.
Because it's busy doing other things. So the memory then
Yeah.
generates into a misconstrued version. That's why they always say, like, there's two sides to a story and in the middle's the truth. Because no one's actually going to be able to give an accurate recollection of what happened, because
Either
emotion
that-
and things like that come into it.
Either that or in a past life I was in the SAS.
Yeah.
And at
be
2
that.
years old I was like,
I think-
whoa, I've been here before.
Don't think that's the full crux of false memory, but I think that is probably related to a version of how false memories exist.
That's very interesting. I didn't know that. But yeah, I've for years thought that was true. And then don't know why, because that would be the most fucking ridiculous thing to ever happen and the most unsafe position to put a 2-year-old in. But I could see it in my mind right now.
That's crazy.
Telling you it happened.
I think that you then, like, you went on the helicopter and then you watched a show of, like, people doing that, and it's just combined the memories together.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, the brain's a funny wee thing.
Yeah. But no, until you reminded me that I dream about I haven't had a head decapitation dream for a while. But until you reminded me of that, I was dead set on my dreams coming to life. But
Yeah. Not for it now.
I mean, it might put me out of my misery.
Fair. Well, I think that I'll just keep dreaming.
Yeah.
That's definitely
Yeah, do you
funnier.
know what? Me too. I'm gonna risk it.
Oh,
I think a life without dreams would be too boring, especially
it
if
would
you're
be
not.
sad.
If you're not gonna sleep anyway, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Glad we're in agreement. I've not got a would you rather.
Terrible.
I'm slacking, but I feel like I've done a lot of talking. I think that anyone listening's had enough of me and don't want to hear anymore.
Okay.
So, on that
Wrap
note,
it up.
let's bring it to a close. So, thank you all very much for coming along, whether you were watching or listening. Please follow us on other social media platforms. Everything's Brains Unpicked Pod. If you have anything that you would like to send in to us,
Please send stuff
please, like we really need to start drumming up some more people coming to give us some more stuff. We're so keen to hear what people have got to say.
If you would like to be a guest.
Oh yeah, we'll take guests. Yeah. So if we could, my brain's just shut down.
If we could
bring this to a close. Thank you for watching, listening, whatever. Please like, subscribe, do all of those things. Anything. Please like it, send us a comment if you liked it. I hate comment if you didn't. And love you all. See you later. Bye.